What up, gang? What up, squad? What up, goons and motherfucking goonettes? And we back. Ugh. Yeah. I got a banger for y'all today. Ooh, I got a banger for y'all today. You hear me? I appreciate everybody that tapped into the live last night with the 15-year-old IG killer. You feel what I'm saying? Who unalived somebody on live IG and got himself tangled up in an interrogation room. You feel me? It started out as a self-defense situation, but man, y'all gotta go watch it. It was crazy, bro. I ain't gonna sit here and go back through the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? It's hot as crap. I ain't got no shirt on, but I got my ice on to make me cool down. You hear me? Yeah. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know what we get into. You know what I'm saying? We back over here at Club 1700. Hey, I need y'all to go subscribe to my Twitch channel, OZ1700. Go subscribe to the channel, man. I'm finna start streaming. I'm finna turn this thing up. You hear me? You feel me? Make sure y'all go subscribe to all my platforms. OZ1700 on Instagram. OZ underscore 1700 on TikTok. And of course, subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to make it go through the roof. I need 5,000 subs. I need 5,000 subs within the next 60 days. I need to be at 5,000 subscribers. No kissing. But we got a great interview on a live reaction. We got a great interview by his name is Vernon. He was stabbed and R-worded in prison because he didn't snitch. What? I can't wait to hear the story on what happened and why that happened to him, because he didn't snitch. He was arrested and charged with a bank robbery. It just don't make no sense to me. So I'm really hyped on getting into what happened for him to even get this type of treatment done to him, which was wild. You feel what I'm saying? I'm definitely want to hear his story, guys. Don't forget, man, like the live on your way in, man. Show me love, y'all. Like, this content creation stuff is like my dream. Like, I really want to take it there. Like, I really want to be that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I really want to, want to be one of the top streamers. Want to be one of the top content creators. I'm learning how to, like, not use my phone to look at the screen that I'm looking at. I'm getting there. I'm actually getting the equipment together, man. So I need y'all to, like, support the channel so we can run it up. But we're about to get into the live reaction of the guy that was raped, that was R-worded and stabbed in prison because he didn't snitch. That didn't make no sense to me at all. But yeah, man, I hope y'all tune in, man. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all dig what I'm putting down. And shout out to Real Life Street Stars for this awesome interview they did with Vernon, man. Shout out to Vernon for being transparent. And yeah, man. Shout out to y'all for messing with me, man, for taking the time out of y'all day to watch this interview. And I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Seriously, we family over here. Club 17. You know the vibes. Alright, so I'm about to flip the camera so y'all can watch and hear the interview. This is my first time watching it. Feel free to comment. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me, I talk back. It's all love over here, man. It ain't no bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Don't be disrespectful. Mind your tongue, man. It's okay to have an opinion, but I don't tolerate disrespect. Alright? So, show love to those who show love to you. Alright? Let's get into it.
About as much as I could, to be honest with you. It ain't like I just say, oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and do it. No, I tossed a little bit about as much as I could, but again, because how he caught me off guard, coming behind me, and he was a bigger guy. Just
real life. It ain't real life. Real life street stars. You know what time it is. Real life street stars. Y'all put it together. We have I want to say an incredible story in regards to, we have people that come on this couch and give testimonies on what's happened in life, and I think
shout out to Vernon, shout out to Real Life Street Stars.
I believe that within the podcasting world, or even with what we do on this couch, we have this type of story that kind of we're gonna go through the ebbs and flows of this, the ups and downs, the highs and lows, but we do have Vernon on the couch, and it's funny because we just talking about it like it's just Vernon. There's no alias.
Only in prison did I get a name, but that was just because I didn't really want to go by my name. But after so long, I just went back to being military. Everybody called me by my last name. So
back to the military. So with that being said, the reason you're here is because, of course, you did have to do time in prison for bank robbery, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with that being said,
I did 25 and a half years on a 39-year sentence.
25 and a half years on a 39-year sentence.
25 and a half years on a 39 and a half year sentence. It's crazy.
I'm curious. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself, but also tell them what it is that you were sentenced for, and then we're going to go through the backstory. Go ahead.
Okay, now ask the first part of the question again.
Yeah, reintroduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Vernon.
And then what it is that...
and I really tell people that I really did time for being young and naive and just being dumb to the world of streets.
I like that. That's the real, that's the truth, though.
All right, so I like how you just said that, because young and naive to the streets. So let's go ahead and go through there. To even become a bank robber.
Right.
Some people think that comes from like, when you watch the old Wild Wild West movies, that these are hardened criminals. they're the low of the low. They're gunslinging. Let's go rob a bank because I wanted the easy way, not the hard way, and I'm willing to kill for it. That's not your story.
Nope.
You actually didn't even rob banks for money, really.
That's correct.
So let's go through there, man. As far as your upbringing. We always like to try to find out what kind of household someone grew up in to be able to lead them to a life of crime. Can you advise, Vernon, as far as what type of household you grew up in, mom, father?
Well, up until I was 14, 15 years old, I lived in a two-parent home. And for the 80s, my mom worked at AT&T and my dad worked at GE. And for the 80s, being black, that was three of the top high-paying jobs that Shreveport had, and the other one was Libby Glass. So if you had at least one parent, let alone two parents working at one of those three places, you was considered rich. We didn't think we was rich. We just thought we was kind of well off, but we wasn't one for nothing either. When I say we, me and my sisters.
Okay. So with that being said, because what we're about to talk through in your childhood is going to kind of display what we're going to talk about going forward. But for those that are watching at home, you do want to speak on this now and prep them to get to this point. You did serve 25 years of a 39-year sentence. And in that 25 years, there was a scenario in which you were violated.
When I first started, because I didn't know anything about streets, didn't know anything about prison. I was never even involved with anybody that had been to prison until I got with Larry and Eric, and in that little 9-month span. But other than that, I didn't know anything about prison. So when I got to prison, going into prison, first robbing the banks, I was
prison is another world, man.
My manhood was basically challenged. Hey, you're a nerd, you're a square, you know nothing about the streets. Okay, fine, I'm gonna show you. Whatever you're doing, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna ride with you. So I got with that robbing fast food places, robbing banks. Went to prison, kind of the same thing. Didn't know anything about prison, so I got
So he was basically just trying to prove himself.
preyed upon.
That's what got him
I got
into
raped.
doing that.
I think I was there maybe less than a month by the time it happened.
So let me, and again, we're gonna get to this point, but with that being said, as far as most kids that do
like
watch
for him to
TV,
have the guts to come out and say
watch
that,
movies,
it's crazy.
watch shows, or just hear stories.
Most men don't want to admit that.
Is a rape scenario. For you yourself, was that a fear for you?
I want to know how hard it was for him to like come out and say that.
I was led to believe that I was going to a camp. And I mean, golf courses, tennis courses, swimming pools. I was led to believe that the federal prisons was camps. It was nice and easy, laid back. And starting off at a penitentiary, it was nowhere near like that.
Not all of them.
Okay. All right, so Vernon, again, let's take it back as far as growing up. You had sisters.
Yes.
And you were the oldest
yes.
of your sisters. So therefore, I'm sure your parents just trying to figure out how to raise a son.
My mom, yeah.
They're going to give you probably either going to give you everything or try to figure it out. Was it silver spoon? Like, growing up?
From my mom, yes, and my grandmother. I'm a grandmama's baby too. I'm the oldest grandchild, so I basically had everything handed to me from either my mom or my grandmother.
So with that being said, we always ask what gets somebody robbing banks, but again, we're not gonna get there yet. So
I was a nerd in school. I was an A.B. student in school. I mean,
what were your aspirations in life?
Well, from about the 6th grade. My dad was there, so my dad, my uncles, my grandfather was all military men, so I was basically being groomed to be in the military. When I went to high school, I went to ROTC, I joined National Guard my senior year in school, and I actually signed my enlistment papers doing Desert Storm. So I was already, in my mind, mentally prepared. If I graduated school and there was a war going on, I was just gonna go and fight because that's what I was geared to do. Didn't know anything other than the military.
Right, so serve your country. Basically, is kind of where it's at. Did you ever get a chance to work a regular job? And I know you stated that, of course, you worked at.
Yeah, once I got out the military, I came home and I worked at a Taco Bell and another like a local Mexican restaurant that we had. I was working like 2 jobs at the same time.
How was your training in the military? How long did it last? How long were you there?
Oh, I was my training. I did the normal training. I did basic training, and then my first MOS was a combat medic, and I didn't like that because I don't particularly care for needles. And in that training, we were actually sitting there with someone just like us that don't know anything about needles. So they tie a thing on. They have to find your veins. And same thing with me. I had to try to sit there and find their veins. So I was like, what, this. And then you have to remember, you taking this training, if there's a war going on, you got to be the one to go out on the battlefield to put somebody together while bullets and stuff flying. I was like, no, you know what, this ain't gonna work for me. So I quit that and I went to learn how to be a clerk. So as far as I just had regular training. I was a clerk once I went to active duty in Germany.
Oh, so you went active duty in Germany?
Yep.
How was that? My stepdad was in Germany. He found him a wife out there. Did you find you a little German?
I was 18, 19 years old. That was not on my mind. I was just trying to fuck.
In and out, goddamn it.
Trying to fuck. Yeah, in and out. I was not thinking about no wife.
Was it? It wasn't a hard time you had to do. You just basically served doing a job, and came on back. You did the 4 years or
2 years? Because again, I was sheltered by my mom here. Once I got away from home, I didn't know how to handle being on my own. I didn't know how to handle that responsibility.
Right, he was a mama's boy.
I started fucking up. I started doing stuff that I ended up getting a general discharge under honorable conditions. I could have re-enlisted after 2 years. But 1 year after I got out, I got into this trouble.
All right, so let's get to this trouble, man. So we just, of course, we talked to the Baba Shaka, where, of course, he was a notorious bank robber. I mean, he's, multitude of banks in. You had. What was your level of crime? What was the most criminal thing you did up until like saying I'm gonna rob some banks, if anything?
At 15, 16 years old, I did some mischievous shit living in an apartment complex. I set the trash dumpster on fire just to see the apartment people come out. Or I may run around with the little kids in the apartment complex, nigga knocking on doors, or egg and cars.
Ding dong ditch.
I just did some mischievous
Regular
teenage
kid shit.
but nothing.
Nothing crazy. God, man, it's okay. All right, so you went to 10 very quick, 0 to 100.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through it. What age are you coming back to? And you come back to Shreveport, correct?
When I came home out of the
Oh, he's from
military, I was
Louisiana.
20 years old.
All right, so you're still green, still young, dumb, full of, whatever
Working
they
at
say.
home, working 2 jobs, living at home with my mom and my stepdad at the time.
So, with that being said, you mentioned there was a guy, I believe, I don't know if he's related to you or related to your sister or dated your sister. Do we want to throw names out there?
That's fine.
Yeah, Larry.
Okay, I knew Larry in high school.
Okay.
We didn't hang out, we didn't, converse, but we knew of each other because it's kind of like we kind of went after the same girl, more or less. Graduated school, and when I came back from the military, my youngest sister was dating a guy. And through that guy, ran across Larry again. So then me and Larry started hanging out, and then that's how I ran into here.
So let me ask, who approached you about robbing banks? Like what was that approach? What was that pitch?
Well, it really first started with fast food places. We didn't just jump into kind of back up a little bit. Hold on. Can we cut just for 1 second? I have one question. Can we cut?
Yeah. We're not live.
Okay. Yeah, because this is kind of...
Stay accurate.
Because this is kind of for you. Because I don't want to say nothing that will really get me hurt later on. Because I remember you saying back then, Jack, remember me and Larry started jacking first. And so I don't want to say anything about that part. But I don't remember who we jacked. Remember, I'm just following right along.
Don't say nobody. Yeah, as long as you don't say no names.
Yeah, I didn't know about no jacking. See, you about to put me on game. So we didn't know there was some jack on. But
I mean, at least he got the respect enough to respect the people that were involved and stuff like that. Because you get some people that come on these joints and they just blah, 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 whoever. Don't know if that man got open situations. Don't know if he got back time. Don't know if he got eyes on it. Don't know nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
I know exactly what's. Bro, I've been in your position
respect
before.
it.
So to authenticate your story,
He just want to be authentic.
what I would do, of course, and we're gonna run it back, but again, you can speak on it, but also you were naive to what the hell is going on, and I'm gonna lead into that.
And that's kind of the reason why I remember you remember me saying, me being with him in the beginning when he first kind of reached out to me. I was like, whoa, I don't know if that's something I want to do just yet because I don't know how you coming at me because I'm nervous that you might be trying to in prison what we call set you the overlay for the underlay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're trying to set me up. You're trying to buddy me. Oh man, it'll be all right. And next thing I know, you get me down the road and bam.
Right.
Remember that time when?
Exactly.
And then my life is over.
Right.
All right, so let's do it like this. So what I'll ask Vernon is, so let me ask this.
But you gotta remember, I ain't never been around nobody in prison. All I know is Larry come to me, hey look, my friend Eric, well, he used to date my sister, but now he did 5 years in prison because he killed his friend. Oh shit, so now what you think I'm gonna think? God damn, here's this dude right in my living room. He done did time for murder. And I don't think manslaughter, I don't know the story. All I know is this man sitting on my couch, he done did time for murder. Now
Right.
you want me to go rob banks with? Oh shit, what the fuck?
So, Vernon, let me ask you, what size were you back then? Like, how tall were you?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. Right now, at 50 years old, I'm 5'8", 170 pounds. I know anybody here won't think I'm 50 years old. Back then, I was 20, going into prison. I was probably 150, still the same height, but I was way, way, way slimmer.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And I look way young. I look like, in fact, when I first got to Leavenworth, the warden locked me up in the SHU, special housing, because he did not even believe that I should have been at that prison.
All right, so let me ask you this. How many banks did you rob in your tenure? 4 banks in the span of 9 months.
We robbed 4 fast food places first, and then we graduated to the 4 banks.
Oh, they was
all
on
right,
the road.
so let's first and foremost ask you this, because this is what you said even in Baba Shaka's interview. You did not say yes because
I wanted the money.
You wanted the money. So what was it that motivated you to say yes, or
because
inspired you?
I didn't like the fact that I was being. Now my vocabulary for what transpired back then is a little different because I'm older now. But back then it was, I didn't want, my manhood was being challenged. I didn't like the fact that, I was being called a nerd, a square, geek. And so I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna show y'all, hey, look, I'm down with you. I can do everything y'all do. I might be new to this, but let's go do it.
But you already been to the military. Like, you've been with girls, you already, like, but you still had doubts.
Yeah, I had doubts.
Man, okay. So, with that being said, you're like, let's go do it to show. And it's not about, you're not even worried about what money you're getting. You're just like, I'm here for the...
I'm down.
I'm down.
I'm a rider, as they say. I'm a rider.
What was the plan for the first bank robbery that they brought you in on, or that you were part of? Like, can you walk us through the plan of what it was, like what we're gonna do, and what part you played?
Now, depending on whose side you're looking at it from, remember it's 3 sides to every story.
Yeah.
3 sides. My side of the story is I was sitting at the house, and Larry and Eric was sitting there planning everything out, and they were like, and you gonna do this, this, and this, and I was like, all right. Just that simple. All right.
Did you trust the plan?
I didn't.
You didn't care.
I didn't know not to. Mostly because we had kind of worked through it. I guess how you say in a trial run with the fast food places.
Were you scared?
Of course I was scared.
So, do you mind? Because again, I like to bring people in when we have this conversation. We're gonna, this is. This part that we bring in Baba Shaka to come in, just to speak on this part. Yeah, let's get him turned on. Let's get him turned. Let's get him back situated. Because we want to be able to, as we speak to this part of it, I want him to be able to speak to what he felt it was versus what you felt it was.
Because there's three sides of every story.
Yeah, I think he might have worked you. Through this whole situation.
But it wasn't so much as him directly as it was Larry.
So
he played a role in it, but it wasn't me and Eric really didn't have a lot of dealings.
Yeah, you knew Larry.
Yeah, I knew Larry, but I didn't know Eric. Me and Eric conversed a little bit here and there during that time, but nothing like that. Because for the entire time, from the moment Larry told me about Eric being in Angola for murder, it just killed me right there.
But that let you know that this is a man you don't mess with. Exactly. In your head.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. All right, come on in. Let's bring in the Baba Shaka, a.k.a. Eric, B.K.A. Eric, or, Baba, let me ask you, dealing with Larry and recruiting this man right here, Vernon, did you not worry about, like, man, he's too green to get in on this?
I did worry about that.
Yeah.
I did worry about it. I called myself trying to
I tried to groom him a little bit. You know, I beat him up one time.
Yeah, fight.
Yep, I beat him up one time because he's, you know, back then I kind of referred to him as kind of like a buster. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was part of the crew. He was with our little crew, but he was a buster. And one time he said something slick. I said, what you say? And he said it again, like, you know, he really was trying to fit in. What he's trying to say is that he was trying to fit in. The dude, he looked up kind of to the dude Larry. You know what I'm saying? But when I told Larry, because I knew he come from a roguish family, they was all roguish. So I'm thinking he gonna be down with the, you know, with the lick. He was sneaky. Larry was sneaky, so he was like, I got somebody that'll do it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna get him to do it. You dig what I'm saying? And he would do it because he was trying to impress him. He wasn't trying to impress me. He trying to impress Larry. You understand what I'm saying? And I asked him, I said, man, but then I kept on, called myself at one point trying to make him tough, like hit him in the chest. Bam. You know, we went on the road robbing banks to Florida, to Fort Pierce. Oh, wow. It was down in Fort Pierce. We drove from Shreveport all the way to
Vero Beach.
Yeah, but yeah, he was, and I kept on, you know, I was trying to, in my own little way, trying to make him tough. You know what I'm saying?
But since he brought the fight in, the fight that we had, he fucked me up so bad. He stumped me in my face. I had a footprint in my face, and he chipped my tooth.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Chipped my tooth.
He man enough to talk about that. That's how I like transparency, man. He man enough to he not ducking no smoke.
I said some.
He got spotty. You know what I'm saying? He got spotty. He wasn't supposed to get spotty with me like that. You know what I'm saying? But
drinks were involved. You said.
Well, hold on. But he tried to fight back though. That's what made me mad because I'm like, you just. You know, you can just, if I smack you, just don't take it.
Dang, you want to just take a smack.
Swing and swim. And I was like, man, what? You know what I'm saying?
Foot to the face, though, is raw.
Did y'all get closer after the fight?
No, this is the closest we've been. Remember, again, I already knew he had killed his friend. Now here it is, he didn't jumped on me, so of course I'm gonna get even more scared of the dude.
Okay, so the first robbery, y'all don't know each other. Y'all about to learn each other right now.
I mean,
y'all know each other, but when I say learn each other, I mean we're about to do a crime together.
We're in my crib, I'm running it down to him. I'm running it like a blueprint. Like, hey, look, man, this is what you gonna do. I'm gonna control these people. You do this. You jump the joint, get behind the Taylor, the counter, and this is what you get.
But back to the fight. Did y'all get cool? Did y'all get cool after this? Because it's like, how you go from the fight into this?
The fight happened months after the robbery.
Oh, okay, this happened after the robbery.
Yeah.
I'm confused because
I think I did. I tried to apologize.
The fight happened after the second robbery.
Yeah, I tried to apologize to him.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking for.
In my own little way, I'm like, man, come on, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Because he had a black eye, and I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to toughen him up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had to fight after that second robbery we did together, the second bank robbery.
Now that I look at it, bro, he just was naive, bro. He was naive just to even get spotted with me. You feel me? And he was very, very naive.
Yeah.
Very naive.
You believe you were naive, Vernon?
Yeah, that's why I said if I wouldn't have went to prison, I don't think that I would have learned the stuff that I learned about streets. About the world streets.
They even had a word. What was that word that they were trying to give him a downward departure because they realized that
I had the minimal role, even though I had the most.
Not only he had the minimal role, but it was more like he was influenced. You know, when you're dealing with these court systems,
it's what they call coercion.
When they trying to they trying to help somebody, you know, it's a lot of stuff that they
want him to
deal with the law, and they was trying to get at to him because when he did free me, his lawyer called me. was like, would you be willing to come back, you know what I'm saying, and testify about him, you know, him being slow. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah. You know, I was in Atlanta when he called me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good looking. We're going to get to that as far as the court system. But right now I want to start on these bank robberies. All right, so the first one goes down. Again, you get to see what a man is. For Bobby, you seeing what Vernon did he do a good job? Y'all, the lick was successful.
Good job.
Damn good job. Okay.
Damn good job. You got to realize, too, I chose them because they wasn't grimy.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that they were going to try to stick me up. They was going to double cross me. And when you're doing something like that, you gotta be somebody that you trust.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay, they schoolboys. I done sold the idea to them. Sold the idea to them, and they down. He down with doing it. We didn't went on a practice run with some fast food restaurant.
Yeah. How much was the money in the fast food runs?
You know, we hit 3 banks. It might have been about $12,000.
Because you got to remember, Burger King don't have, Burger King.
It was on a Friday night, so it was a good night.
Okay.
So it might have been.
What is it?
About $12,000.
Okay. Enough motivation to say we could graduate to the big boys.
Yeah.
Now, as a side note, all this came out in my trial, my testimony, not my testimony, Larry's testimony at trial. All this can be, how you say, verified.
Yeah, verified, yeah.
Larry testified on all this. They didn't know nothing about none of that until Larry testified on all.
So he started debriefing.
Larry,
he had very minimum role in it. So he like, I ain't going to bank. I ain't riding the bank. I just drove the car.
Larry's the driver.
He was the driver. I just drove the car. Yeah.
Y'all are the two that's hands
going in, putting in the work.
Okay, all right. So the first bank robbery, how much is the takeaway from that one?
Well, that was the one that Dowpack exploded.
Dowpack, yeah, exploded.
Okay. So we got away with we came out the bank with the money, but as
it started popping.
As I'm running, I hear something go pop, pop. I look behind me, I'm thinking somebody come out and shooting at me. I look, and I turn around, the smoke coming out the back. I'm like, oh my God. So I get to the car, and he was like, drop it. So I just dropped it on the ground, jump in the car, and we take off.
Damn, so there's no money in this robbery.
Mm-hmm.
It's a successful robbery.
Successful.
But no money.
No money.
Gotta drop it, gotta abort the mission.
So Vern, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on that? Like, all right, we did this, and I ain't shit. You're like, fuck it, we did it? You all right.
Pretty much.
So, Vernon, you didn't feel no type of way after doing this. Did you feel?
I mean, of course I was scared and nervous. Because, like I say, my girl called me.
Right.
It was like, what you do today? I was like, nothing.
Oh, that's the one where
the stock match. Yeah.
But after it was over, did you feel anything? Did you feel regret that you robbed the bank? Or did you feel like, man, I can't believe I just did that? I'm a bank robber. What do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I ain't gonna say but it was a range of shit, and it was all pretty much what you said. I was like, well, goddamn, I did that, and everybody shit on the news. The next morning we get up and it's in the newspaper. I'm like, fuck. Like, but
what city is this?
Shreveport.
Okay, this is Shreveport. Mom and pop bank, or not mom and pop, but a small bank, correct?
No, it was a pretty big bank.
It was a pretty big bank.
It was Pioneer Bank.
Yeah.
Is that downtown or is that?
No, it was right by high school.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I don't even know if they have it anywhere else. I know it's not in Shreveport no more.
Yeah.
Did y'all case this bank?
Mm-hmm. I did.
So you already had the layout, and he
knew it was by alley. That was made the other the getaway easy, because when we ran out the bank, we ran between a fence and down the alley. So the people in the bank didn't know which way we went. They didn't know where we jumped in. None of that.
Then it was school hours, so kids were getting out of school.
Oh, smart.
So the police couldn't be.
You planned that? You planned it for school hours?
Yeah.
Smart. Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Wasn't a rainy day though, right?
Nah, it wasn't a rainy day. It wasn't a rainy day. I didn't come. After you start doing them, I start thinking and breaking down, like, kind of analyzing, like, nah, I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
Stocking cap, we ain't doing that no more. Because you can be recognized.
Vernon, you knew the exit strategy though. You to a T. You knew, like, all right, you're a smart guy.
Pretty much, basically, my exit strategy meaning, I'm just gonna follow air.
Wherever you run, I run.
Pretty much.
Wherever you go, I go.
Because that was the plan. That was the plan. I knew what we got out at. We walked together. I knew what to do once I got in, and once I jumped back over the counter, we ran out. I knew where to run to. So basically, I was running behind him. So I ran to the car.
Okay. If you seen it on video, you would actually think he was a pro.
Hey, he's a good soldier.
Yeah,
There you
definitely.
go.
Definitely.
So the first one, there's no gain, no profit. How quickly y'all plan the second one? Like, all right, like within weeks, within a couple of days?
He wasn't involved in that one.
Oh, okay.
That was when me and Larry went to Dallas to rob. It was a credit union in Mesquite, and they had just freshly opened. Now again, I don't know how he came to chose that one. I just know, hey, this is what you're gonna do. Because once he found the credit union that he liked, he got out. He parked right down the street, around the corner somewhere, and walked to the bank, walked in. I don't know what he said when he went in there. He just came back. Hey, look, this is what it looked like. This is, he drew a map, and this is that. So when you go in there, this is, so you know where to go. This is, so I was like, all right.
Yeah, so Larry, he still didn't get out the car when y'all did it by
He cased it, but yeah. When the robbery actually took place, he actually stayed in the car.
Yeah, I always stayed in the car.
He stayed in the car on all 4 robberies.
Yeah, he never did nothing.
So
why did Larry? Part about this, like, did he ever say why?
He was.
Uncle, he was the boss.
I have no guess. I really,
Uncle, he was the boss. He just wanted to give orders.
I think he ran it in his, how he processed it was, if we get caught, I ain't robbed a bank.
I'm just a driver, just ate in the bed.
And he probably would have ran off and left us if the police would have came. He'd have drove off and left us.
But again,
yeah, he was.
Now to show you how naive I was, and not really sure if Larry was just telling me these things, or if it was just something that he assumed to be true. But at the time, he told me, hey, if you go in the bank with the gun, you don't have no bullets in the gun, you won't get caught. And if you get caught, it won't be on robbery. It'll just be assault with a deadly weapon. You ain't got to be careful of touching stuff, but just don't touch glass, because they can only get fingerprints off of glass. Again, after I got caught and started going to trial, I realized none of that shit was true.
Facts. They get fingerprints off everything. DNA in the air.
He's just a driver.
In my head, I realized that, but we just broke it down 3 ways so everybody,
So did Larry do time?
No.
Larry did no time.
Yeah. He pleaded to 25 years.
Right.
Because of the testimony, it reduced it to 10. And because of the federal system, you got to do 87%. He said 85, but it's actually 87%. But they give you 2 days. They give you a good time date and your max date.
Mm-hmm.
His 87% date on 10 years was 8 years and 4 months. And he got out after that.
So he did.
He did 8 years and 4 months.
That's why they split it 3 ways.
Yeah. So no one can rap. You split 3 ways. Who the give a nigga 20%? He gonna the first thing gonna tell. Can't have that kind of. Can't have that nigga up yet. Okay, so the second bank you weren't a part of. That was y'all two. What was your takeaway on that one?
If I remember correctly, was it a credit union? Yeah, the credit union. It was between 12 and 15. I can't remember exactly.
12, 15,000 back in the 90s.
He just hit a Taylor. Just a Taylor. It was 4 Taylors. 4 tellers.
Okay.
I jumped over the counter, hit all the teller machines, and it was 4 of them. And you only got 12.
Yeah, I say, what is your thoughts on that type of money? Whether 12, 15, 20, like, is that kind of money, like, what does that do for you, Vernon, as far as that kind of money split?
Well, at that age, again, we only split when Eric was involved.
Oh, yeah.
But to show you how naive I was, the 2 that I did with Larry technically wasn't split. He kept it. He kept it because what we did was we just kept the money in the bank and in a bag, hey, when we needed something, we just go in the bag to get it. We want to buy shoes. Now keep in mind, he bought 2 cars in his name. I didn't buy no cars. When they arrested us, the only thing I had on me at that point really was clothes. I had given my mama some money, but that was the only other thing that linked me to the bank. But I ain't have no big dollar stuff in my name, no cars, nothing.
Did you feel Larry was a friend?
That's my water? No, that's mine. In that instant, yes, I did.
Were you scared of Larry at all?
No, not to the degree that I was of Eric. Not to the degree I was of Eric. No, I think that's the chicks that was there.
Yeah, no reason to be. Larry is, whether friend, he was with your peoples, dating your.
Larry was grimy. He wasn't his friend.
Okay, so that's what you saw.
But he was almost his only, like he was his only friend. He was the only person that was in his life for his male figure. You know what I'm saying? And
the only thing that kind of made me a little paranoid about being around Larry and being involved in his lifestyle was because he knew where my mom lived.
Yeah, I do it.
He used to go with me to my mom's house sometimes. When I went to go visit, he would be with me, so he knew where she lived. So at one point, even when I thought about, I need to get out of this, I need to quit doing this, I need to figure out an exit plan. Well, the exit plan didn't really come to fruition because he knew where my mom lived. So I felt like no matter what I did, I'm stuck because he knows where my mom is at. No matter what I did, he can still get at me through my mom. So I was kind of like caught in a rock and hard place.
he didn't know how to say no.
Right.
So when Larry say, hey, there's a bank right there, you gonna go in, he keep the money. He basically kept the money. So, I never knew what they had going on because, I didn't know what I didn't know.
So you just hit the first one and you were kind of.
Yeah, I was at the crib. I was at home. Huh?
He moved around.
And they went in. Because Larry was greedy. He knew he was greedy. He had him crash dummy to go in the bank. And you know what I'm saying?
This credit union in Mesquite, you hit twice.
Mm-hmm. The first bank was Pioneer Bank in Shreveport. We didn't get away with it. The second one was the credit union. Then the third one was Providence Bank in North Dallas. That's when he came in. Now he came back to Larry like, hey, look, I need to make a lick, blah, 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 blah. So he was like, all right, cool, we'll do that. Mm-hmm. Now, Larry, somewhere in between us planning that bank and actually going through with it, Larry was like, hey, look, my uncle them, this and that, they want to get at Eric, blah, 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 blah. And I think that's another reason why my paranoia is so high with Eric, because I know all the shit that Larry was planning. I wasn't involved with it because, again, I didn't want to be involved in the shit to begin with, but I knew what Larry and his uncles then was planning. So I was like, yeah. So when we got around Eric, I don't know if he ever really caught it on, but I was just like, always playing, I was silent, I was quiet, because I didn't like how Larry was playing friends with Eric, but then still plotting on him behind closed doors. See, I wasn't cool with that.
Did Larry ever say what to do when you go in the bank and someone was to resist? Did he ever give you any? Because
I already had learned pretty much everything.
So you never thought like, man, I might have to kill somebody or anything?
I didn't have no bullet.
Okay.
Never took no bullet in all 4 robberies. Never took no bullet in the gun.
Were you ever worried about the police coming in there?
Because it had been, the only way a police would have came in would if he was coming to actually bank. But as far as security guards go, because all 4 times before the robbery had actually taken place, they was already had been looked at. And I mean, like literally within minutes of us actually going in to do it.
There's not a button that they press, like press the red button.
Even if they hit the button, we in.
You in the door and over the counter so fast, so they don't really have a chance to
respond.
And by the time they realized what was going on, I was already like over the counter.
Did y'all know any other bank robbers, or did y'all feel like y'all were only on an island? Did y'all know anybody like?
Anybody else that y'all was robbing them?
Yeah, it's like, you know, you see these stores, you see people getting hit in the face with a pistol right when they go in. Everybody get on the ground, shoot in the air. You know what I'm saying? That's just not.
Nah, I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
But then the ones we didn't do that.
I've read a lot of the guys' cases, because man, the Rolling 60s out of LA, they're notorious for robbing banks.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of their licks, they hustles. But, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so I have friends when we in prison, we comparing paperwork on bank robbery. You know, we talking about, man,
Yeah, we done did our research.
yeah,
we
we
research the
trying to
case.
figure out, like,
reading,
man,
like, dang.
you know what, the game over, man. You ain't gonna be able to do it, because now they got the double doors. When you go to the double doors, they gonna lock you in the double doors. It's a lot. There's a lot to it now.
That's facts.
So you never heard of anybody doing nothing wild, like?
I mean, not nobody I knew personally.
Not while we was doing it.
What about when you was reading over the papers?
Oh yeah. You read other cases
yeah.
like
They
shootouts.
Is there anything wild that someone did that they don't show in the movies that you like? I can't believe you would do something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, man, y'all remember one time we was talking about following a bank teller to the house and knocking on the door and holding the bank teller hostage. Go back, you know, and then the next morning they go back and hit the bank. But we never did that.
Yeah.
It's too much. It
Sounds like a lot of variables.
Yeah, it was too
But
much.
you had to go do that stuff like that, maybe like a big city or something.
Yeah, it was like, man, you know what? Nah.
So-
Kidnap and you know, nah.
It's compiling the crimes. Like,
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
doing a lot. We're doing a lot. Did y'all know the sentence that comes with either getting caught with or did y'all know the penalty of if y'all got caught, like what y'all would face?
No.
He said he didn't know. So, I mean,
If I would have known that robbing a bank with a gun, with a note, give me 5 years as opposed to going there with a gun and give me 25 years.
you let it right a motherfucker.
Writing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's if I would have done it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now, would I done it? Probably not. You know, but if I would have still been given a choice, I probably did it with a note.
All right, so let's get to the scenario in which you put on the presidential mask. You know, this is before the movie Point Break came out. Whose idea was that? They said, let's go on with the presidents, and what presidents were they?
It was
Clinton and Reagan.
Yep.
God
We
damn.
went to Party City.
Because this was right before Halloween. This was like
Went to Party City.
actually it was in September.
Went to Party City and got them. We had scoped this bank. I had been scoping it, and we used a stolen truck to drive to the front door.
That you gave us.
Where you get the stolen from? No, wait. Let me ask. Let me ask. When one goes after a getaway car, you have to get the getaway car.
So no,
We might as well tell it. They can edit it out.
No, it's cool. I
Remember, that's how I got arrested one time because you gave us that van.
Yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that first.
So what happened was I used to work at a dealership as a detailer, detailing new cars.
Yeah.
So when the truck came off the truck, I take the paperwork. I wouldn't take the paperwork up to the front. So I tell them, hey man, come get this truck, and then come get the truck, come get this Windstar van.
Now, originally, it just started out, we just joyride.
Yeah.
He didn't give it to us to participate in a crime with. Yeah, we just started out joyride. Hey, man, fuck it. It ain't on me. Y'all just drive around. Just bring it back tomorrow.
Demo plate, license plate I get the demo plate.
Yeah, to give you.
If I can ride, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, give you a few months.
You know,
So we took the truck to the front door. I say, y'all ready? You ready? First we took the truck to a car wash. and we pressure washed the inside of it to get all our fingerprints.
Yeah,
Five fingerprints. We had a
No,
glove.
we didn't go to the.
Yeah.
We did. Damn, we did.
Car wash in Dallas somewhere.
I'm saying to the door.
It was wet in the inside. And we took it to the front door. I said, "You ready?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "On three, let's go. 1, 2, 3." We jump in. He go in first. Because I'm coming in with the Mossberg, you know. And
Are you Reagan or are you Clinton?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
I don't remember.
I didn't pick and choose. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember. We went in there, man, shut it down.
Man, that's some Point Break movie shit as an employee.
It's crazy because when I was in prison, everybody would always ask me, "Oh, you set it off?" Or you, man, I did that way before
this movie set
yeah,
it
before they even thought about setting it off.
How do y'all feel that plays into to the psyche of a person working? And were there any? The one thing y'all did mention, y'all mentioned workers, civilians, just shopping in the bank. Do y'all have to deal with civilians that's like, just?
I didn't think about that after I went to trial. I did not think about putting anybody's life in jeopardy. I didn't think about none of that until actually I went to trial and I had people testifying. This is what they did. This is what they thought. This is how it traumatized them. And I was like, well, fuck.
Were there any civilians involved in any of these robberies as far as just a
The bank we did, the Provident Bank we did, it was because it was a bigger bank.
Yeah,
The credit union, there wasn't nobody in there. And the first bank we did in Shreveport, there wasn't nobody in there. Just the workers.
How do you handle civilians that's in the bank?
Well, I'm going to tell them, everybody get down, and they get down on the ground. That way, you can watch them. But I'm trying to make sure I'm watching these tellers and watching their hands and, if they trying to do something, because either their hands up, y'all lay down, don't look at me, But I'm steady talking. I'm telling them, look, we ain't gonna hurt nobody. We ain't gonna hurt nobody.
And was the Mossberg loaded? Or is that loaded or?
Well, nah.
No.
We never used the gun.
Yeah.
We never used the gun with bullets in it.
No.
There you go.
In the Ford that I participated, I don't know what he did after the fact. When he went on his own doing whatever he did, the Ford that I was in, we didn't have any.
And the goal was not to take any lives. Okay, well, with that being said, definitely with civilians, you handle them. You hopefully they follow suit, give you what you want, you get out of it. The last bank robbery that y'all did together, that was impressive.
Providence.
That was a Providence.
That was the one after that when I went to Atlanta.
Okay, so you were done. Now again,
Larry did one more.
okay. For our audience that's watching this interview, why did you not do any more with these two guys?
What happened was we was coming down 20, and I was like, God, just let us make it back to Shreveport. Let us make it back to Shreveport. I ain't gonna rob another thing. And that was my thing. You know what I'm saying? I went and bought me a new car, and
That was after the fight.
yeah, that was after the fight. So, but by this time, I'm ready to move on because I got the money. I'm trying to go home, move to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And just like I say, I've been to Freaknik before. I'm trying to live down there. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was a whole. Atlanta wasn't like it is today. I guess it's Atlanta is more of it's different.
Yes.
LPG, whatever.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was like the Black Mecca.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it is today.
Vernon, did you feel like he abandoned you? Or you?
No,
Larry?
I don't. You heard me say that was after we had that fight.
Oh, you was ready for him to go.
After that, I was like, you know what? I just need him to just get on and do whatever he's gonna do. Leave me alone.
Sure.
I'm done with this. I was done. I mean, I wasn't done with. I was kind of mentally checking out of participating in crimes from that point because it was just starting to. My nerve was starting to get kind of bad because I wasn't in a gang, but I was hanging out with gang members. Same with him, but we was in two totally different factions. Blood, Crip. So in my mind, I'm thinking we riding around the city. Blood's looking for me and Larry because of him. That was rumors members that was hits out for us. Just like he heard that we had a hit out for him. It was just a whole bunch of. That's when the greed started to come into play because Larry's uncles and family members started to get in his ear, so to speak. Cause I didn't have nobody in my ear. I didn't buy into that. Well, he got 40,000. We ought to go ride from him. He got 100,000. That was them.
There was someone that was plotting to rob Baba?
Larry them.
Larry, so did you give him a heads up or did you even care to give him a heads
We
up?
didn't talk.
Okay.
We didn't talk.
Stuff. So, Bobby,
But he had heard.
your intuition, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, whatever you win, you got. Yeah.
Yeah, it was time for me to go, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That is cool.
Did you ever have an altercation with Larry?
No,
No altercation. No.
Larry was quiet. He was sneaky. You know what I'm saying?
But they spoke the same language. Because they spoke street. I didn't know how to. I wasn't a chameleon. Larry played both sides because he went to college and he's from the streets, so he could play both sides. I couldn't. So he knew how you say, placate to Eric and get Eric to kind of.
Like you said, he spoke two languages.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it like this then. All right, so you out of town, you out of Dodge, you're here, and as Bob, as you said, I want to get to this part, but we're gonna kind of circle back. But when it came to getting indicted, getting caught up with this, what took place for you to get caught up, and what brought him back in the fold?
Well, after we robbed the last bank, this was, I know y'all from Dallas, so you would know, we robbed the bank on a Thursday. The Texas State Fair was either get ready to start that next day or that Saturday. So me, Larry, and the girl we was with at the time was going to come back to the Grambling pay-per-view game. And was going to go to the State Fair. Mostly we was coming back because I wanted to go to the Grambling game because I wanted to see Grambling play pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But we had already been in Houston that entire week before. And we went down to Houston to rob a bank. That morning we got up to go rob the bank. As we packing up, we looking at the news, and it was breaking news. Somebody had literally just robbed the same bank. We was getting ready to get up to go rob that same morning.
Oh damn! Luckily, you caught the news.
So as we packing up, we drive, and Larry said, I don't believe that's the same bank. I don't believe that's the same bank. So we drove by, true enough, cop cars and everything. It was a shootout. It wasn't just no regular bank robbery. The guy actually had like a shootout with the police. So we get on the freeway. He was like, hey, look, we got to make this lick. So how about this? How about we just go back up to Dallas and we rob the same credit union that you robbed before? All right.
Yeah. Now that you say it like that, it makes logical sense.
All right, so fuck it, let's go.
But it's also the wrong shit to ever do. So
hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20. So how do you get caught up with this one?
I go in, rob the bank, come out. Because we did not follow the process of staying overnight, taking care of business, getting rid of things in different part of Dallas like we had done the two previous bank robberies we did in Dallas. We just took everything that I had on, the clothes, the money wrappers, the mask, we put them in one bag. We stopped, I can't remember if it was back then. I think it was Circle K back then. Not Circle K, 7-Eleven back then. We stopped, put everything, got gas. We went on down 20 coming home. Just by bad luck, guy that worked at the gas station happened to be coming out to throw something in the gas in the trash dumpster. For whatever reason, he decided to look in the trash dumpster. He looked in there, and he said, at my trial, this is what he said. He said, I looked in there, I seen the president mask, and I was thinking, why would somebody be throwing away such an expensive mask? Because they was like $75 to $100. So he said when he reached down to get the mask, and he moved it, he seen the money wrappers, the clothes, and bam, and they know he called the police. And the highway, literally just right down the highway, the bank had just been robbed. So they start putting pieces together.
Yeah,
they didn't come. They didn't. That was a Thursday. They came to Shreveport that Friday. Well, that night I went home. I gave my mama some money. She didn't, of course, she didn't know where it was coming from. She thought that I was involved with drugs, gangs. Cause when I gave her the money, she was like, "Oh my God, what did you do for this? This is blood money." And she crying. I was like, "Mama, don't worry about it no more. This is my last one. This is my last. This is it. I'm good." So she got up next morning. We went to put the money in the bank, and because she didn't know the serial numbers on the bank, they
registered.
Because banks, when they get robbed, they send out what they call them things, bullets.
Yeah.
For all surrounding states, so they know what to be looking for.
For them serious, like the serial number on the Jones, like a social security number for money.
From inside the money mask and all that. By me being in the military and being arrested before, that's how they tracked me and Larry to Shreveport. But they got him at like 5:30 that Friday evening. We separated. I was getting ready. I was with my girl at the time, and I was getting ready to take her, one of my sisters, and another mutual friend we all had to the movies that night. Cause Jason's Lyric was just premiering that night.
Good movie. Good movie.
Was the bank robber movie?
Was the bank robber movie? Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the movie like, oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm watching them. I'm like, man, we just really did this shit.
Nigga, this.
With the exception of the shootout and all that, I'm like, what the fuck? We just really did this. But anyway, we went to the 10 o'clock showing. Then I took my sister home, took the girl home. Then I went to my girl's house, and I laid up on the floor, fell asleep, called the room, kept calling Larry. He never answered. So I'm like, what the fuck? So like, baby, he ain't answering the phone. So she was like, well, fuck it, I just take you down to the hotel room. I get out the car, go to the elevator. I'm barefoot. I ain't suspecting shit. I ain't suspecting shit at all. I knock on the door, I hit the key, it don't open. So I go to the room over, because we had joined the room. Hit the key, turn green, so I open it up, go in. I'm like, what the fuck? This shit, he ain't been in the room all day. That's not like, in my mind, I'm like, this ain't like him. He'd have been in the room. I could tell how I left the room. Next thing I know, I get I'm thinking it's my girl. I done left her down in the car. So I open up the door. Get out. And they bum rushed me right. Your bank robber days is over. The fuck you mean, man? I ain't robbing no bank. What the hell you talking about?
Damn.
But little I know, they already had me.
All right, so before we get Baba out of here, real quick, let's just talk about it. We're going to, again, circle back. You ended up staying solid and not testifying against Baba Shaka after he got brought into this whole fiasco. What was your reason for staying solid after the fight y'all had and not knowing and seeing this man? And maybe they offered you something that, you probably could have utilized and said, I can get some more time off. What was your reason for that?
Because as crazy as it sounds, because he asked me to.
Man, just as simple as that.
As simple as that.
If he didn't ask you to,
I wouldn't have testified. I wasn't gonna say nothing, period, on my behalf.
But I needed him to verbally say
that he wasn't there. So that's what I did to help him.
Yeah.
But putting him there, taking him out, put me there.
right? So
Even though they had evidence against me, but it was all circumstantial stuff.
yeah,
Because no one other than Larry was actually putting me in the bank. Yeah, they had money that I gave my mom, but that didn't put me in the bank.
Yeah.
They had my fingerprints on the money wrappers. That didn't put me in the bank. Nothing put me in the bank other than me saying, yes, I went and robbed the bank. But I did that only because he asked me, hey, look, they ain't got shit on me. I need you to say this to let me go.
So
I got you. All right, cool.
So Larry snitched on you.
Yep. And him.
And you.
Mm-hmm.
he brought him in.
took a stand on me. Pointed at me.
Yep.
Damn.
I'm sure. Talking about started saying all other shit too.
Yeah, because Larry, when
Larry got to singing like a mockingbird.
he told, like I said, he told on more than just the bank robbery.
That's how it
He
be.
told on fast food places. He told on jet skis that we stole and took to put.
Even though he put you to it.
He put me to it.
Yeah.
But I
So
kind of
did you say
figured that
anything
from the
back
start
when
of
he
this
said
story.
it's nah, I didn't even know anything. You just
I did not talk to Larry no more after we got arrested. I did not have any more communications with Larry.
He sent him a letter. Remember
Oh yeah. He sent him a letter.
Said, listen, concentrate on Eric. Tell them that the Black Panthers told him about the banks. Concentrate on him. But they took the letter. They got the letter. You know, the feds, any type of mails.
Yep, they read that. They screen it.
They got it. You know what I'm saying? It was some wild shit, man. I'm in the courtroom like.
So, Baba, if you don't mind, for him to stay solid for you on that, like you said, you said he asked me to. You asked him to, hey man, just.
Yeah, I was mad, bro, because I'm like, bro, y'all done did some shit without me.
And they ain't got nothing on me.
They got caught. They don't have shit on me. They got nothing on me. They only got
talk.
Like they brought, like when at trial they had a few. Everything was always circumstantial.
Right.
Like he had a red BMW that he had bought right after one of the robberies. Yeah. They tried to say that was
we did the robbery on a Wednesday. I bought the BMW on a Monday.
So they tried to say that was his money he bought with that. So again, when they asked me, I don't know where he got the money from.
He set me free, bro.
I don't know.
He set me free. I told him, although he just kept on acting paranoid. Yeah, I'm like, look, bro, I owe you, bro.
He put it on two.
You know, since I'm talking about since he's what I'm basically saying is that he freed me, man. He did something that nobody would do, bro.
Yeah, he did. You feel like he owed it to you?
Huh?
He owed it to you, just based on everything that happened, took place. Do you feel like he owed it to you to like, let me keep it solid,
I didn't. No, I just had to try my hand, bro.
Wow.
I tried my hand,
and I did that even against my mama.
Yeah, your mama told you.
My mom was like, baby, the government, Mr. Jerry, he's gonna give you a deal. All you gotta do is tell them
they wanted
Eric. And I was like, can't do it.
Yeah, they wanted me. And he freed me.
So why couldn't you do it? Like,
because I'm loyal.
Damn. Loyal.
This man done beat your ass.
Don't work like that no more.
I'm loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
My mama, even to this day, whenever we get back to this subject, she just shakes her head. She said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it after all you've been through. Why you still feel like you have to be loyal to Eric?
And so when I did end up going back, because I I got free, because I need to say this. And I ended up going to maximum security prison. Now, my homeboys from Shreveport, they telling me about, the rape situation. And I'm like, why y'all do that? Why y'all let that happen to him?
Yeah.
Dude, he was a thorough dude, regardless of being a square buster, whatever you want to call him, he did not tell. You know how many gangsters is telling?
Yeah.
You know how many niggas is killers and telling?
Right.
Why would y'all let that happen to him?
Right, huh?
You know what I'm saying? And my main thing was like, man, dude, his paperwork was right. They don't care.
What was their response when you were coming at them about?
They would just look at me and try to deflect it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But when you dealing with, basically, man, in prison,
it's a doggy-dog world.
Not only is it a doggy-dog, but it's a lot of grimy niggas in jail, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of misery. A lot of miserable niggas.
A lot of manipulation,
they
deception, betrayal.
His mom out of money. Okay for me to say that, right? Okay, they was beating his mom out of money because his mom was like, listen, I'm willing to pay y'all to protect my son. Everybody that she paid, fucked him.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally. Not literally.
I mean, to one point, the dude told his mom, "Look, I'm gonna show him how to get act crazy so he can beat the case." And his mom gave him $2,000, and then the dude came and testified on.
It's crazy.
Dude out of Dallas somewhere. Yeah. So I ended up running across him again. Punished him. It's just, bro. I seen crazy. See me, it's like my biggest thing is when you're dealing with kids, or people, it's just an illusion, bro. It's an illusion, bro. The man did everything right, bro.
Right.
Yeah. He did everything
He
right.
still went through
and
all
then
that. It's crazy.
Y'all do this to him instead of protecting him and looking at him like a little brother. Right. Like the wars, he my homeboy that I had on the phone today. He was like, man, I told the dude who raped him, like, man, you lay there and rape our homeboy, the youngest dude, the littlest dude here in the prison, and they got punks here. Why you do that to him? You know, it's
So you got raped by your, you got R-rated by your homeboy.
To this day now.
Well, I told him, regardless of him being paranoid, I'm always there for the dude. He called me, or I'm calling him a week. You know, we went out to eat, and I need to give him a little something. And I always tell him, man, you know, if you got raped, that does not make you homosexual. I don't look at you like that. Right. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't like you wanted that. Right. So it's still in my mind that this man saved me, bro. Right. I took myself back, but he still saved me. Right. You see what I'm saying? And like I told him, I said, but look, we're gonna take this. I got you. We're gonna take this. We're gonna sell our story. Right. And we're gonna because one thing about it, and you know, that's to me, that's a
Wait, hold on. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to what I'm saying. Listen.
Yeah. So, you know, that's to me, that's a
and the fact is that it happened
anywhere to one of the podcast. And the people that's watching this, you will never meet somebody to come on this couch or to go anywhere to one of the podcasts and say they got raped, bro. So
not too many.
That's to me, that's a
and the fact is that it happens more often than people want to talk about.
Yeah, but they're not saying nothing.
They ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, I think it's real stand up for him, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I asked him, because we was having problems with coming. I know you was like, man, what that dude coming? He supposed to be coming. I was like, bro, I had to, you know, he just scared to get in the car with me to come down here. You know what I'm saying? Then he got a job and he trying to work. He's struggling. He need money. You know, so I'm like, bro, you know, let's go on, get this shit over with, bro. Because we still got other shit. We got 50 down there. We trying to get our story out there. You know what I'm saying? What other better way than to get on the circuit and start talking about it? You know what I'm saying? But again, what reward he got for not telling? He ain't getting no reward. So what the fuck? I mean, why is it's about not telling when y'all gonna do this to somebody, and it happens a lot. You see what I'm saying? That's an illusion, right?
That's an illusion.
It's an illusion because if you rape me, shit, I'm gonna tell on everybody.
Right.
The fuck I'm gonna be loyal for you gonna fuck me.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
Right.
It's crazy
Right.
that my homeboys did that shit. And then you know, like he wanted, like
So basically, it was some blood dudes that did that to him.
when you go there.
What if recording high-quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star?
L
was as
ads,
simple
man.
as
L
With
ads.
Riverside.
Come on, this nigga.
Sorry, real life. I had to.
He want to eat bacon. He'd have been straight. He'd have been good. They already know he ain't a Crip. You can look at him and tell come on, bro. You know a Crip when you see one, right? You feel me? They know this. They look at him, but all the while, you know. Bro, if I'd have been there, grew my hair started to grow my hair. If I'd have been there, started getting braids. If he'd got raped, we'd because that's my co-defendant. That's my co-defendant. He like my brother.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when they say, man, you heard what happened to your co-defendant? And I'm like, what happened? When I go to Vernon cell, I told him, I said, I go to the cell, man, what happened? What? You did what? Okay, this is what we got to do.
Facts.
You cannot stay on this compound if you don't do nothing. You got to do
Right.
something.
You got to do something, bro. You got to retire. You got to do something.
Because I couldn't do nothing.
You got to stab somebody. You got to beat. You got yo, bro. The only thing, man.
They got to learn how to use a knife.
The only thing I feel like after somebody R-word you, bro, like you gotta unalive him. You got to.
the dude that raped him was a big country bumpkin. He was like, he was a big old dude.
Let's do it like this. All right, Baba. I'm gonna have you come back on out.
All right.
And we are going to, of course, speak on Leavenworth real quick. I'm gonna have you turn it off. Yeah, you can sit back in the middle of Vernon. You don't mind. All right, so getting caught, and what age are you at this time?
20.
20 years old, an adult, doing grown man things. You are caught. You have to go through the trial process. They find you guilty and they sentence you to how long?
468 months, 39 years.
Federal 468 months.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know what that meant to you as they read that guilty verdict and sentence off? Did you know what that meant for your life?
No, because I was still naive to the federal system. I figured in 5 years I either parole out, I win my case or something to that effect, and I'll be out within 5 years or so. I just did not fathom beyond 5 years I would still be in prison.
So your first stop is Leavenworth, which is, if people know,
Crazy.
Leavenworth is not for the faint of heart.
Not.
You say that there's a situation in which
When I first put up on that bus and I looked up at that old ass prison, I'm like, man, the fuck they didn't send me down?
yeah,
I was supposed to be, because at the time when I first came in the system, I was supposed to be going to FCI, which was a medium prison. But they had crack riots that happened. This was in '95. So because of the crack riots, they had to redo the sentencing statement,
redo the guidelines.
Sentencing guidelines,
Mm-hmm.
which for me, it hurt me because anybody with over 25 years automatically had to go to a penitentiary.
Yep.
So if I would have came in the
Yep.
system when I was first supposed to, my path probably would have been a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now I have to start at Leavenworth, and I'm like, what the fuck?
All right, so Vernon, within 1 month, this violation happened. If you don't mind, and again, this subject is very touchy. But with that being said, for what it was that happened to you, again, you being violated, you being raped in prison, can you walk us through the day of this happening and whether you felt it was gonna happen? Did you see it coming? Or what?
Looking after it happened, I mean, how you say, maybe a couple of years
Hindsight.
later, even now looking back, I seen the groundwork being laid by him, but I didn't catch it because I was, again, naive to all of the wording and all of the.
Can you explain some of the groundwork that you felt was being laid, if you can remember?
Well, like the guy, he would say, hey, you know that guy that.
All the internet business gurus, they're gonna hate me for this one. Have you ever wondered how to generate a sustainable income online?
Let's just say John. Hey, everybody should, is either with somebody or this or that. And even John, John, for him to be the stand-up guy he is, hell, he's even getting fucked. So it's like either you volunteer to be with somebody or somebody gonna take you. If you had your choice, which one you gonna do? And I was like, neither one really. I don't want to get down with either one. So he started.
This is a cell. You talking to yourself?
No. Somebody that I got introduced to from being from Louisiana, or being from. He was. You would have to kind of know Shreveport to know like the surrounding little towns and whatnot.
Right.
So he was somebody else from one of the little towns surrounding Shreveport. So because he was the only one that I knew at that time in that particular unit that was from my area, he the one that I kind of clung to.
Right.
So by me clinging to him, so he was like, well, everybody's doing it. Then we might, he might get me to start talking about some of the street stuff that I did, like some of the girls I was with. So when he found out, like I ain't put it. So you suck a hole, you suck a hole, you suck a pole. So it's kind of
What?
like you start playing sex games and shit. So what?
So the dude was playing homosexual games with him, and he didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
He
Right,
didn't know when to
right.
take off.
He was playing
So
grab
you
ass.
know when you get a celly and he do certain things,
He was
or he say
snatching
certain
ass.
things, you gotta take off. He don't know to take off.
Right.
So dude gotta
Disrespect you like that, you gotta take off automatically. Let them know I ain't the one, bro.
He like,
I don't play them games, bro.
You don't know to take off. You don't know to do something. Yeah. That's it.
Like at that point,
Were
it's,
you on
I'm
any
gonna have blood on my
medication?
fist or
Not at
blood
that
on my
time.
knife, bro.
I didn't get the medication
Like,
until I got to.
I'm gonna punch you out or I'm gonna stab you out. One or the other, bro.
You're still 20 years old at this time.
By then I turned 21.
Are you 21 years old? So he's throwing you things that I guess you're not picking up on, and you're within the first couple of weeks. You're still new to how Leavenworth works. You're new to
Prison
the system.
period.
Prison period. You're new to it. He's the only person you're clinging to, or as far as you're talking to. He's the only person.
Now, when we would go to lunch or dinner or to the rec yard, I would be with him.
Right.
He
He basically letting people know that this me, without you even knowing that that's what he doing, bro.
Fine. Hey, how y'all
He
doing?
putting it out there
Blah, blah,
already,
blah.
like this
Go
me.
back to the unit. I'm still right with him because I was scared as shit. I didn't know nothing about prison, so I didn't want to be caught off by myself if something happened to me.
Did you ever go on suicide watch?
That was in North Carolina.
Okay.
That was the fourth prison I was at.
So what type of mental health medicine did they have you take?
Now, once I got to Florence, they started me on. Now, when I was in CCC first and CDC, they had me on some
Hound dog, that was real.
But once I got to Leavenworth, I got off of it. I didn't get back on it again until I got to Florence.
Why were you on psychotic meds?
Mostly it started
Probably
off
after the R word.
a way to kind of deal with the shit that I was going through, and some of it would put me to sleep. So it just got me to the point where I was sleep a lot. But like I said, once I got to Leavenworth, I wanted to be more conscious because I wanted to know what was going on around me. So I kind of got myself off of it.
All right. So, again, as far as you want to take this, again, I'm not going to have you reenact the whole thing, but as far as you want to take it, the day of this happening,
The first time,
what can you walk us through as far as what happened? Like, how did you not see it coming, if you don't mind me asking?
He was new. Like Eve, he was green to the penitentiary.
Okay, so
He out from the streets. He wasn't used to that type of, you know what I'm saying?
because again, I had already been hanging out with him most of the day in, day out, sitting in the cell.
You probably trusted him.
Talking, rapping. I think we had started drinking a little bit because they had hooch.
Hooch.
So,
Yeah, hooch, yeah.
Yeah, so we got to drink a little bit, had a little hooch. In his cell, because he had a cell by himself, got to use the
prison wine.
bathroom. And once I started using the bathroom, we just came up behind me and just grabbed me and put me on the bed.
So let me ask. Yeah, because he's like you said, he was a country bumpkin type dude. Are you physically trying to fight this out? Because again, from you're 21 years old, you're 150.
About as much as I could, be honest with you. It ain't like I just say, oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead and do it. No, I tussled a little bit about as much as I could, but again, because how he caught me off guard, coming behind me, and he was a bigger guy,
So, mind you, and this is all hindsight now, he'd been plotting this, or at least let's say he didn't plot it, but he'd been testing you, and then he got you to this point. Do you feel at the moment that, like, what do you feel was going through his head? Like, oh, I've been waiting to do this. or this is just in the moment? This is just what it is, man. Like, do you go through? Because mind you, we're gonna get to it, but you were probably trying to get commission to do some harm back to this man. But do you feel like he was like, this man? I let. Do you feel guilt? Be like, man, I let this dude into to make this happen. Do you feel like any of that was your fault, or you feel like, man, he just really took advantage, and I need to do some harm to this man?
I felt like he took advantage all the way up until I need to do some harm, because after everything was over with, I just kind of wanted to everything just be over with. Then I was hoping he didn't tell nobody. I was hoping nothing ever came out of it.
He did.
I just stopped hanging around him, but I don't really know how everybody started finding out, but I think the only other way was he could have said, well, yeah, I fucked him. And it was always, how you say, my story against his story.
Mm-hmm.
So because it was my story against his story, the only way everybody felt like it was able to be settled was I had to do something to him.
Right.
So it was either you do something to him or we do something to you.
Facts.
And
after this happened, like, what was going through your mind? Were you hurt? Were you like, did you think like, can you just kind of walk us through, like, what goes through a man's mind when something like this happens?
Yeah, my asshole was hurt.
Normally people get put in, what's it called, the infirmary? Did you seek to go?
I didn't tell nobody. I really, okay, I know you all have heard plenty of stories about women out here that get raped. So after it happens, even if they know somebody that they've known for a long time, they still don't want nobody to know. They still don't want it to, they just want it to be an isolated incident. That's kind of what I was going through. Right. It happened, it was over with, and I was just like, man, like I said, I just stopped hanging out with the dude. I stopped going around him, stayed in my unit. I would still come out and watch TV and whatnot, but I would not go nowhere where he was. And
did he try you again? Did he ever try to make you?
I've never talked. Well, he sent word through other people that we knew, like from New Orleans, that was in my unit. Hey, at that point it was Lil Red. Hey, tell Lil Red to come on over here and talk to me. And
so I have to ask, how long did it take you to, one, physically recover, two, mentally recover, in regards to just getting back to normal?
Physically, probably, I don't even know the time frame, but mentally, I think mentally deep.
Hell, come on with the... Dang.
And most of that was because of that. And
I can't even imagine how that,
general,
like, you know what I'm saying?
About my childhood, about me, why I was the way I was, and then how to continue to survive in prison from that point.
Like Baba Shaka was saying, technically, once word gets around that this happened, there should have been some type of form of either retaliation. Again, you already kept it solid. Like, there should have been somebody in your corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Either they came to me. I said they, because it was Louisiana people and California people, because I was hanging around a lot of Crips too, and so it was like a collective. They was like, hey, if you're gonna continue to hang around us and be with us, then you got to do something. If you don't do something, then we do something to you, because we can't have that. Basically, that blemish on our car, on our car.
Right. So you are who you hang around in prison.
Yeah. So they feel like
you are who and what you hang around in prison.
They put
so you gotta be careful.
A blading hand. They put a knife in your hand.
With. Yep. It was an ice pick.
An ice pick. Who? And you don't gotta say no names, but as far as who within the group gave you that ice pick, was it somebody that's respected or just somebody that just
somebody that I guess they felt that I respected them because that was somebody I was talking to on a daily basis.
That's it.
Because it was somebody more around my age.
I ain't gonna lie, for them to even get you the ice pick, that means they're serious about it. But what was it for you that made you not go through with?
I ain't got that heart for it.
And this is about how that ice pick getting put in your hand. About how many days or weeks or months after that this situation happened?
About a month.
About a month. So in a month, it wasn't in your heart to like put a again because we were talking. The people that listen to this are just normal people that live a 9 to 5, or probably haven't lived that kind of life yet. To take a blade and say, let me a month later, not saying for no reason, but let me build it up in my heart to go either try to end this man, because you got to end this man. You can't just stab him and intend to let me scratch his leg.
You got to take him out.
Instances like that, it's gonna be a to death situation.
Yeah.
Because the only way you survive something like that is if once it starts, the police are kind of like right there to break it up.
Yeah.
But other than that, if it's done off in the corner somewhere and the police can't get there,
It's a
one of
thing.
us gonna die. One of us would probably me, 'cause I was the smaller one.
Was there any ounce in you that wanted to go through with taking this man's life? Like, was anything in you, like a percentage that said,
Yeah, I wanted something to happen to him, but me doing it, I was too scared to do it.
all right.
So did you like PC up? Did you say, hey, I want protective custody because I'm being harmed and no one's protecting me? Did you tell anybody? Did you tell the guards?
Yeah, before I got stabbed, I checked myself in. I was in the SHU for 2 months. And in that 2 month span, I had gotten a couple of notes from people that I knew on the yard. They was like, hey, everything is good. We just squashed everything. Everything is good. You can come out. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you.
They set him up.
All right. So I started telling the police, hey, I want to go back to the yard. I want to go back to the yard. And of course, it don't just happen overnight. But after a couple of days, couple of weeks, they was all right. You can go. And what happened was, it was snow on the ground because this was in Colorado. It was snow on the ground. And we didn't get a chance to walk through the yard.
I am ready. Eric Trump, I want to thank you so much for the tremendous support of my father. He's an amazing guy. The way they've attacked him, the way they've gone at
we walked through what they call the tunnel because of how Colorado was, and it was in the mountain. They had to have tunnels built. So if there was ever any inclement weather, even like fog, anything, the yard would have to get shut down. We could still operate. We could still go to work. We could still go to lunch. Because some prisons I've been to, if there's fog, the whole prison shuts down until the fog clear. And sometimes that won't be until 11, 12 o'clock daytime. But by then you'd miss a half a day. Of
Right.
Whatever. But anyway, at Colorado, when they let me out to shoot that day, they sent me through the tunnel. And when I get to the unit, it was like, one guy, he was like, what are you doing back here? I was like, well, I got a couple of notes that said it was all right for me to come back out. He was like, no, bro. No, cuz you got to go back up. You got to go back up. I was like, hold on. It was like, no, you let that shit happen to you. You can't be out here with us. You can't let that shit. He said, hold on, I'll be right back. And I'm standing in the cell talking to somebody. And next thing I know, he comes back in. He has gloves on his hands. So I was like, oh, shit, this ain't finna go right. And before I knew it, I just pocket, and he started swinging, and I fought back, but it still wasn't enough to dodge the getting hit. And then I ended up getting out of the cell, and the police came, and I had a knot on my head, and that's kind of how I got caught from that, and then I went back in the SHU.
How long did you stay in there?
The second time after I got stabbed, 7 months until I got transferred to another prison.
Where did you get stabbed?
I got hit in my arm and in my chest and in my back.
The sensation of being stabbed, was it ice pick, or do you even know what it was that hit you?
I assume it was, I say ice pick, but
that sensation, did you know it happened as it happened?
You know, just the adrenaline of it all didn't register until after I got to the lieutenant office, and they was like, "Were you fighting?" I was like, "No." It was like, "Yeah, you are, because you got a bruise on your forehead." I was like, "No, I wasn't." He's like, hold on, take your shirt off. And when I took my shirt off, that's when I seen I had been cut in my arm. But the police standing behind me was like, "Yeah, you got a cut on your back." And the police was like, "Damn, all right."
And at this time, you're still 21?
Nah, by Florence, I was 22, 23.
So did the administration?
So all this stuff
recognize
happened
that
to
you
him
couldn't
within
make
like
it
a 3-year
in that type of
span.
setting?
It's crazy, yo.
I was transferred from Florence because of that. And then once I went to Florence, the next penitentiary I went to was Allenwood, Pennsylvania. So now I went from Kansas to Colorado to Pennsylvania. I did some good time in Pennsylvania until my past started to catch up with me again. People from one prison came there and was like, "Hey, he got raped at this prison, then he got stabbed here." So it was like, "No, dude, you can't go in this compound either." But it just so happened that the psychology department came through and started talking to me, and they found out that although my sentence made me have to be in a penitentiary, my adjustment to the penitentiary life wasn't all that great. So they put what they call a management variable on me. And the management variable, it's basically a waiver. They waived the criteria that prevented me from going to a medium, which was my time.
Right,
but my
right,
points
right.
was very, very low. I had like 6 points. So because of that, they was like, "Well, we're gonna waive your time and drop you down to a medium so we can send you to this prison." And that prison was in North Carolina. And man, that was so. I had never done. That was the best time that I did. Almost the entire time I was in prison. 5 years in North Carolina.
Mind you, if you pay attention, some of the hardcore rappers that's around.
Why you should never
Yo.
buy colored plastic. Did you know that colored plastic is wreaking havoc on our planet? Why is that, you ask?
They don't get a chance to go to these places that we was at. They in Texarkana, they in Fort Worth, but they supposed to be riders and thugs. They'll come on, I've been to the beam. Nah.
Yeah, I laugh at that too, though. I'm like, "Did he went to where?"
Yeah, once you get those who are in the system know what levels.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, you got it easy over there.
It's like, he ain't no way. Ain't no way.
So,
Did you ever contemplate suicide or anything like that? Did that ever come to your mind?
Yeah, I actually did a couple times. Several times.
Dang.
Actually tried to hang myself a couple times. But every time I got in the process of doing it, I would like hanging. I hang there for a few seconds. I was like, "Man, this ain't gonna work." But as far as cutting myself, once that process started, a cut is a cut. It's there. Ain't no. The only thing is just a matter of how deep you cut.
Right.
But I cut myself a couple times.
When you in solitary confinement, like, what was that like for you?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you ever have to like hear anything, any voices?
No, because almost every time I was in solitary confinement, I had a cellmate.
Okay.
And they try to pair you with someone that they feel, like in my case, because they knew while I was being placed in solitary confinement, the rape, the stabbing. So they tried to always pair me with someone that was basically as soft as I was.
Right.
They feel like nobody, that the person that they put me in with wouldn't compound the problem.
Right.
That I was having.
How was your cell?
Right, they tried to put him with a compatible cellmate.
I always had good cellmates.
Okay.
Did
they have any of the same experiences?
Not everybody you bump with gonna be compatible, man.
Being raped in prison is not something that you talk about.
and I want to ask that because we don't get this story often to where, you know, you hear of these actions that happen, but we don't ever hear these stories as you're, you know, courageously enough coming to tell this story. And I, you know, of course, if I ask why is that, we know why. But with that being said, did you ever hear of anyone else that had this altercation or that, you know,
That got
was
raped?
violated, yeah, that was raped in prison? And what's the status of them? Because you do hear stories where that may happen, then all of a sudden they become, either you could say, you know, punks, or they become the wife of a cell. You know, you're like, damn, it happened. We've seen movies to where that now he belongs to him. Did you see that in regards to any of the time in any of the prisons to where you see someone come in normal, something may have happened that's in your window you don't know of,
Shit,
and then you see that person belonging to that?
Well, again, it goes back to that 3 sides to every story. Because this person may say, oh, he took advantage of me, he raped me.
You say 3 sides to every story. You say your side, their side, and the story that everybody else tells.
Unless something more
that's 3 sides to every story.
Did anybody ever get locked up in shoe? Or, no, I never knew of anybody getting locked up. Now, that was always rumors. Hey, these two people went to the hole because he said he raped them. But after the investigation was over with, they both come back out. So now you left wondering, and did it really happen, or you know, what was the situation? So it's kind of like you never really know, because unless you knew either one of those individuals and you knew where they was coming from, you never really knew if it was true or not. You always just had to go with what you felt in your gut. So I never really knew anybody that came in and they didn't want it to happen and it happened. I never knew anybody like that.
What are your thoughts now on, there was a story about somebody, or, you know, it's on Instagram somewhere, there was an argument to where the sexuality in prison, to where some people who do want to have sexual partners of the same sex in prison, that some...
It's a familiar story.
Yo,
Big
they is
corporations
killing
and
me
oil
with the
companies raise
ads.
prices, and we get crushed. So President Biden's plan cracks down on corporate price gouging and closes unfair tax loopholes to make them pay their fair share. Don't risk losing the photos and videos from your phone.
Murdering me
This
with the
innovative
ads.
device
It's
makes
crazy.
it easy to back up your smartphone in
prisons offer condoms to inmates, and some don't. Is that true or not? I don't know.
I haven't heard that.
Bobby, you ever heard anything like that? Okay, so
I do know, like, the homosexuals, right as I was on my way out at like the last 10 years or so, the homosexuals had started to file a class action lawsuit against the BOP, which is the Bureau of Prisons, to get their hormone injections, hormone pills, to get bras sold to them, get panties sold to them. But as far as the other stuff, nah, I never heard.
now you were sentenced to 39 years. You did 25, and COVID came in, and you know you've been released since then. But it wasn't easy to get released. It wasn't by chance.
No.
You had to have, I'm assuming, some friends or something in some high places. Or how did you get out?
Well, I'm gonna say around somewhere between 2018 and 2019, I started to research. Well, Trump was in office, and they had started to pass these different little laws, good behavior laws, good this, good that. So I started to, you know, pay attention to that. So I reached out, and I remember when I first got arrested and I first going through all of this, my mom kept telling me, hey, the prosecutor wants to help you. He wants to help you. But so I was like, no. Fast forward, I'm thinking, well, since the prosecutor wanted to help me then, why wouldn't he want to help me now? I'm not any more bad off now than I was back then, although now I'm probably even better. Right. I was in North Carolina for those 5 years. I was in college. I enrolled in college courses because there they actually had professors from the college down the street coming to the prison. So I was working on getting my associate's degree in business. So I'd already groomed myself to be better coming out than I went in.
Mm-hmm.
So once I presented all of this to my former prosecutor, because he wasn't even a prosecutor no more for the government, and I presented him with everything, and he said, well, get some letters from different people at the prison, like some of the guards, some of the administrators. So I started talking to them about it. They started writing letters, and I presented it to him, and he went to the prosecutor, hey, because he still had some pull. Hey, I got this guy, I prosecuted him 25 years ago. I need you to help me get him released. And just at that point, COVID started to hit, so they started to try to get people out because they was looking for space to create.
Right
so
time.
Everything just kind of all clicked at the same time, and I got out.
Do you think your prosecutor, did he find out about the rape? Or did you tell him?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe I did.
So, even now, and again, we're gonna be jumping around just this last part, but you're free. Are you married with children?
No, the only son that I knew of that I had died 2 years ago from fentanyl overdose.
Condolences.
Dang, my condolences,
but no, I'm not
Vernon.
married.
My condolences, man.
I ain't right, just life right now. I'm just lifing.
Is Robin Banks out of your system?
Yeah, 25 years to think about it.
We just asked in the last interview about
Better be.
Right? You joking.
we just asked that. We're like, do you still see cracks in the system as you go to your bank right now? Do you see cracks in their system, knowing what you know? And again, we're not condoning any kind of bank. We're not condoning nothing bad. I'm just saying, from an intellectual level, do you see cracks still?
You know what? All bullshit aside, in all honesty, I've went to a couple of banks because I'm actually doing business.
Yeah, you're a patron. Yeah,
I got checking account, savings account. Yes, that part of me still looks around and like, man.
Yeah, because that's what you know. So of course, like by nature, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
This would happen. This could happen. But nothing beyond.
Because you look at things like you think things like Frank Lucas, he got out the game and he started helping.
Oh my God, man.
In a lot of ways, healthcare is under attack.
The government catch the drug dealers or whatever, or the bad cops, let's just say. Like where even Catch Me If You Can, they start catching people with fraudulent checks. Would you ever help the government catch bank robbers? Like, hey, this bank is easily gonna get hit. This bank is very lickable. Would you do that?
My honest answer would be, I would have to answer that in the moment.
Okay, yeah. See, let's present the question. You'll get an answer.
Sometimes it's difficult for me to answer questions in scenarios, like hypotheticals, because not every not in a hypothetical, not everything is detailed.
Right.
So therefore, it's hard for me to say what if. I don't know what if.
Do you have PTSD from, let's say even men being behind you, just talking to you, like, you gotta talk to me in my face. Talk to me in my eye.
I still have some issues with some things, like sitting in restaurants or sitting in open areas. I don't particularly always sit with my back to the door. I sit where I can see everything that's going on. Even in the restaurants, I like to at least sit where I can see the majority of where
I dig that. I'm like that though, but I ain't go through none of that. I'm just like that just from
if there's
regular
any
life,
you
you know what I'm saying? Streets, being locked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to know what's going on around
18,
you.
19,
I sit with my face to the door, I can see everything that's coming at me.
Penitentiary systems. What advice would you give them when it comes to the signs that maybe you missed to say, look out for this, because somebody will prey on they'll look at something about you and prey on that. What advice would you give them?
That is a very hard question.
Ooh, I know.
That is a very hard question because, again, people are different. What I tell you may only work for you. It may not work for you, and you. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody
That's real, bro.
goes into prison differently.
What worked for me might not work for you. Like, it's just I wish more people say that.
You could say something to the man who did do this to you. What would you tell him? What would you say to him?
I mean, you knew that I was naive to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you knew, because we had talked ad nauseum as to my background. And again, anybody that's from the streets can talk to me in 5 minutes and already be able to tell, oh, you don't know nothing about this.
Right.
Then, now I'm still kind of green, but not as much as I was back then.
Right, you're a lot more seasoned, but you're still kind of green.
From the federal system, they lock up people from all around the world, literally. Russia, China, you know, you got all types of people in the federal system. So I had a chance to talk to different people from different walks of life. And that just kind of, how you say, made me open up my eyes to different things. And I would just tell him, you know, that was wrong. You know, like he said, you should have been schooling me rather than trying to figure out how to take advantage of it.
Right, facts.
You know, especially if you're from my area and you calling me a homeboy, I'm supposed to be somebody you're supposed to be trying to look out for to protect me from the other wolves out there. But instead, you the one that laid there and was a sheep in wolf's clothing.
Whether it be your homeboys or homies or people that you consider as whatever.
Do you consider
that
him
do the
gay?
most bullcrap to you?
Knowing what I know now, yes. Back then, see, you gotta, and I always had to answer some questions with a two-part answer.
It's not that black and white.
At 50, of course, I see the world differently now than I did at 20.
Right.
So going into prison, what I thought about gay people or homosexuals was way different after I started going through the system.
Yeah.
So now, yes. Then, no.
Man, that's again, the subject itself. Again, I give you the grace and the courage of being able to speak on this because, again, this is a story that isn't spoke on, and again, I can only imagine.
Would you believe this is the first time I talk about this in an open forum?
That's crazy. It's crazy,
I've
man.
told family members like my mom.
God bless you, bro, with your transparency, man.
Girls that I've dealt with
and I pray that you
as far as being in an open forum,
find the space where
ever had to admit that.
Vernon,
it's not weighing heavy on you no more, and you can continue and go through life, man. I pray you get more life,
because I want to just thank
blessings, like
of the courage it takes to have. First and
Vernon,
foremost,
we appreciate your transparency,
respect
bro.
enough for us to have this conversation,
We appreciate
and then
your
also for you to tell it,
bro.
And as I speak on this,
despite any choices that you made, young, that puts you in that place, Vernon. We appreciate your transparency. Come here and speak about it.
Before, like when you first,
it's just a matter of fact. Hey. And mostly, like the females that I talk to that I may see as a potential to be in a relationship with, I tell them probably within the first day or two, hey, I did 25 years in prison. Oh, okay. And they ask questions about that. What did you do? Yada, yada, yada. Then after all those questions die out, by the way, I was raped while I was in prison. What? And they ask questions about that, and then we just move on.
Do you fear being judged, or you're beyond that?
To be honest, if I did fear it, I wouldn't tell it. So just to say, no, I don't. But then again, I don't care.
So I asked you earlier as far as what advice would you give young people, but let's skip past that. For you to be able to have the courage to be able to tell this on this platform and be able to, I don't want to say be the poster child, but be the messenger of, you know, this situation that does happen more often than
to
not.
answer your question about the message I would give, I don't know if I would necessarily give a message. I would just tell my story.
There you go.
Right.
Cautionary tale.
I think that's better.
Cautionary tale. Then allow them to make their own
right, to reciprocate
decisions from that point.
Right.
Because again, I was raised, you know, 2-parent home. You know, I went to some of the best schools we had. I was a nerd. So I would just tell them, hey, this is how I went from this to this.
Right.
Now, it's up to you to figure out how your life is going, to figure out how you want to navigate the next 20, 30 years.
And, Vernon, we really want to thank you because by you doing this interview is going to stop several young brothers from going to prison.
That's my intent.
That's
what's going to happen.
For those that do need to, let's say, do want to have an open forum about traumas that happened to them. It don't have to be a situation where it was a rape or anything, but just a trauma that happened to them in prison where they're afraid to speak on it based on judgment. Can you at least let them know as far as what has it helped you with being able to be able to speak on it more now than you did before, to say, all right, let me just get this off.
Just maybe feel more comfortable with me. Once I started going to therapy and I was able to talk about it and kind of just deal with it, I became comfortable with who I am. Which now it doesn't bother me being called names, nerds, because I'm comfortable with me.
Right.
I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care if you love me or not. I'm still gonna be me.
Right.
I'm still gonna be Vernon Miller. I don't care if you don't like me being a nerd or if you love it. I had to, once all of this started happening in the beginning and I was able to get to North Carolina and start going to therapy, I had to realize you can call me all the names in the world. I'm still gonna be the same person. I'm still gonna be light-skinned, bald head, short, tall, however you want to look at me, I'm still gonna be that same person. It's not going. Your adjective is not gonna change me.
Vernon, first of all, before your service, having children and grandchildren, I thank you for protecting our freedoms. Secondly, you're a very courageous young man. For you to take this platform public is probably going to help a lot of people. I can't say enough about you, but you obviously have a good friend in Eric, and hopefully, you'll help a lot of people. And if I could do anything with Eric and you to help you with the movie, just let Joker know, and I'll be glad to be there for you, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually, when I got to West Virginia, I met a guy, and I started taking a creative writing class. And with that creative writing class, he gave me the idea to start writing a book. So I started writing. My rough draft manuscript is complete. I'm just working now to try to get it touched up and edited and published, because my entire book is about the 9-month crime spree that we was on. And I say that with some hesitancy because it's an actual true story, but
This NASA-inspired flashlight is basically a lightsaber that fits in your pocket. Introducing Blitron.
Names have changed. So if you was to read it, you'd be like, oh, wow, that really happened? Yep, it really happened. It really happened.
One of the reasons, man, I reached out to you and I wanted you to tell your story is because of all the stuff that's going on with P. Diddy, these different people, are you coming out and being on a mainstream podcast like this, you can open the doors for other people to come out and be able to talk about their traumas. You know what I'm saying? Because they got people that's living and won't talk about some stuff that did happen. So I commend you as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? Told you, I got you. Got you, bro. I ain't got a lot of money. I know you ain't got a lot of money to give you, but I got you.
Vernon, with that being said, if your life is turned into either a book, autobiography, a movie, Would you play it? Because you can play your 21-year-old self. You don't look a day over 25. I mean, if they said, "Hey, we need you to be in your own situation," would you?
I mean, of course I would.
I'm just curious. Let me ask, because there are movies that portray people getting violated in prison. Can you watch those movies like Lockdown, American Me, or just any of those prison movies?
I watch them, but it's kind of like I cringe a little bit at some of it.
Yeah.
Mostly because I know it's Hollywood. I know it's exaggerated, but
it's based on true things that happen.
Feel the
truth,
pain, I guess how you say. Yeah. It's like wow, I've been there. I know that, but yeah, I still watch them.
Yeah, it's not too often we speak from a victim standpoint. It's very few often, we might even have the violators sit here on this couch and we don't know, they're speaking of the strength in prison, how to, it's very often we talk to someone who got preyed on versus the prey. So again, thank you so much for being able to tell the story. Can you tell people as far as what would you like to see come next in regards? Because again, right now you're doing this for the first time in an open forum. But if those people do reach out, if there is a producer in the comments, if there is somebody that wants to reach out, what are you looking for? What would you like to speak on if they do reach out to you and want to possibly speak on your story into a different medium?
Again, I just have to talk to each individual and just kind of gauge the situation as it is. Again, it's a hypothetical is sometimes very difficult to speak on because you don't know all the nuances that may be involved. So until I get presented with an actual platform or an actual way to tell my story or to talk to somebody, just reach out and we'll see how I go from there.
So with that being said, for those that do want to reach out, those that immediately want to either send support, give words of encouragement, or even have you speak to them about what they may be going through, what are some ways for people to reach out to you and maybe contact you, speak to you? How can they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm all over social media because I sell cars for my day job.
What's that? You want to give the name of you want to wait and have them go to your social media to see you?
So they can find me on social media.
They'll see what you do
on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. I'm under my Vernon A. Miller. I mean, I'm there. So I'm not. When he reached out the first time, I was real nervous and paranoid. But then when I thought about it, I was like, well, I sell cars. So if he want to get to me, you know where I'm at.
If he need to pull up,
right.
It's not too hard of a plot to plot.
If he want to get to me, so I might as well talk to him. Because now, did I lay groundwork for other people just in case? Yes. Hey, look. Hey, I'm going out to lunch with Eric. So Eric if I come up missing, you know where to start. Hey, I'm sharing my location with you. 2 or 3 people was always on point. Every time I got ready to go around Eric, in the last 3-4 months, hey, look, don't just drop my location because I just want you to be aware of something. Okay. Even coming here, hey, I'm taking a trip to Dallas. I'm dropping my location. So if you don't hear from me by such time, hey, start looking for me. I had the one girl I was talking to. I had to take a picture of my outfit today.
He thorough. Just in case I come up
missing today. If you don't, because she know we talk all day.
Yeah.
So if she don't hear from me by a certain time, hey, this is what he had on last when I saw him. So, hey.
Well, hopefully you can read energies, man. Eric Babashak, his energy is good. You got these guys here, man. Their energy is good.
Eric, they say that the truth is often told in a joke. So while I may be joking about it, I'm still being honest about it. Although there's no real fences or bridges for me, Eric, to men, because we didn't do nothing to each other than the fight or whatever. Everything else was just through other people. So now on this side of it, I'm trying to get beyond the paranoia of it all and try to be friends.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Oh man, that's some of the realest. That's some of the realest. Well, we gotta say, man, again, thank you so much for being able to come and get this part of your story out. Again, most men that I've come across, that we've come across, probably cannot get to where you're at
It was
now.
hard for me, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
It's
no,
hard.
and that's what I'm saying. That we approach this hopefully delicately enough to where you're like, all right, this is, we'll see it as
But
a safe
again,
space.
therapy had to get me to that point to where I could be open and be comfortable enough to talk about it.
And as we close out, can you speak on how important therapy is? I mean, just in general for anybody that's dealing with anything.
Well, if you go into it with the mindset of, I know I have some issues, I want to work on my issues, then it can be very beneficial for you. Very beneficial. Because therapy, for me, therapy allowed me to learn a lot about myself. Why I think the way I do, why I act the way I act, because I started to find out about some of the mental health issues that I had or have. So now when I talk to people, I know how to recognize certain feelings and certain emotions in myself. So if it's something that I feel I need to stay away from people on, I just stay away.
Well, there you go, man. I have to say it, Vernon A. Miller, the coldest car salesman in the land. We got to say it, man. You're on this couch, man. You're giving a hell of a testimony. But again, we got to thank you, man. But Vernon, you are a real life street star, man. Salute. We salute.
Dang, that was crazy, right? Crazy story, yo. Like, first off, I want to say, hey Vernon, if you listening, man, or if you ever come by chance of, seeing my live or, anything like that, one, condolences to your child that the one child that you said you knew of, man. Condolences, man. May his soul rest in heaven. Two, I want to thank you for your transparency, man, for allowing us into your world, allowing us into your mind, allowing us into your trauma, allowing us into your childhood naiveness, allowing us to understand you in the times that were your darkest. We all struggle with demons. We all struggle with our own dramas, our own traumas, our own pain. We all go through our own ups and downs. Like, I look at it like this. Life is a journey, and the only day that journey will end is when God sends you your final coordinates to your last destination. But until then, life's a journey, and we're gonna continuously have speed bumps, potholes, distractions all around us, and it's always going to be different paths in the roads, different routes that we can take. Some of them might lead us to our destination quicker, and some of them take us down a dark route. And not a lot of us find the light at the end of that dark tunnel, man. Mental health is real. check on your people, man. Have conversations with your people, man. Talk to your people. Therapy. Like, I've never had to go through therapy, but have I thought about it? Yeah. I've been through a lot as a child growing up. I went through a lot of things as a child growing up. And like he said, I too feel like if you go into therapy with an open mind, it can work for you. Um, that was a hell of a story, man. That took my brain on a hell of a ride. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just listening to it, you can tell that he still deals with a lot of trauma from those things, even though he didn't speak it, but you can just tell by his hesitation with certain questions. And um, damn, um, his friend named the guy, old Eric. Hey man, thanks for having that dude back, man. Real life street stars, man. Thanks for putting together this beautiful, awesome interview presentation, man, of a strong black man that was able to talk about his trauma, man. That was able to bring it to the forefront of the things that he went through and the decisions that he made. It was something powerful that he said in that interview about what advice he would give to, like, I'm itching. What advice he would give to, like, the younger kids, to, like, the younger youth, right? He said he's not sure that it'd be a message, but he would tell his story so they can, like, take from his story what they may need to be able to not do those things. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it's crazy, man. Like, I urge y'all to make decisions. Go trust your gut, man. I urge y'all to trust to trust your inner self, man. Like I said, we all fall short, man. I just urge people to make better decisions in life and better choices, so you can have an overall um, better chance at life. That man lost 25 years of his life um, behind his decisions, behind manipulation, behind being naive, behind trying to be something that he wasn't, behind trying to prove something to people because of him being nerdy. He was not an acceptance of himself. He was not he wanted to be something that was not himself, basically. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, yeah. That was an awesome interview, man. Like, awesome. Awesome. Again, man, shout out to Real Life Street Stars. Shout out to Vernon. Shout out to Eric. It's still mind-boggling me, because it's like, I know I'm probably rapping y'all head off right now, you feel me? But I'm like, from the age of 20 to 23, that man got assaulted, physically, sexually assaulted, stabbed, all because he didn't snitch. So that just busts the myth open right there. Because if you go to jail, right, and you don't snitch, you feel me, and come home, You don't get the red carpet rolled out. You don't get the gold ticket for life. You get a handshake and he held it down. Trust me, I know. You feel me? In his case, him for not snitching, he got stabbed and sexually assaulted within 3 years. That's terrible. That's bad work. And it was his own homeboys that did it to him. So what that tell you? They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Backstabbers. Be the ones you call your homeboy. Be the ones you call your homies. The ones you call your bros. The ones you call your best friends. The ones you call your right hands. Your squad, your crew, etc., etc. Those be the ones that do you in, the ones that do you dirty. I just made a post on my TikTok saying that it be the ones that sit around and listen to a conversation of people talking about you. They'll be the same ones who do those crazy acts against you. Y'all be careful out there, man. Y'all stay smooth, stay dangerous, stay out the way, stay focused. And like that, we gone. See y'all on the next live.